Corona now they picking all they watch for. Let me tell you the truth.
Fambu, Adu, and Kushe, and welcome to the other edition of the program Tap Corona Na Salone. Na Radio Mount Aureol-CTN na Frabe College na Freetown join hand with 14 partner radio stations, including the radio station we they listen to so for bringing this program to you. In the last edition, we go look at how the coronavirus sick don't hamburg education, especially primary and secondary school education. Inside this edition, we will continue for look inside the same issue, but the focus go shift to higher and tertiary education. Mina Unayom presenter, Maria Mafahid. Make we listen to this important public service announcement.
Call 117, anytime you begin feel fever. Or you get cough, you dey feel tired, bad one, you dey sneeze. Or you know this.
Me paddy, look me your trouble oh. Me pikin dey always mourn at me for get face mask anytime when he want for go na school. I don't understand self wetin na im problem.
No to mourn at me sister. Now the right thing the pikin they do so. You know say the coronavirus 16 day na the country. And self, the well-body ministry and NACO back the advice say school pikin they for wear face mask where they go na school, where they na school, and same way so where they come out school for keep them safe from the COVID-19 sick.
But me pikin too small oh for make you go get COVID-19.
It no matter the age, color or who that you be. Anybody when not protect himself, find one from COVID-19, get chance for get the sick. Now make we picking them for get a wear face mask, wash the hand fast and same way so maintain social distance na school.
Thank you, me brother. Now I understand. I go make sure say me pikin always get face mask where they go school for keep am safe from the coronavirus. This na message where they come out from Radio Mount Aureol-CTN Frabe College Campus Freetown.
Also place market or any side we got cool people then they.
We all know say the coronavirus sick don't hamburg plenty thing them na the country. And one parent thing there na the book learning business. So we dey try for know how the sick don't affect higher education like polytechnic and college book learning. So for no more, at the start na Makeni, Bombali district na the northern region for join Joseph Ezekiel Tula, when na the Dean of the Faculty of Mass Communication and Computer Science, University of Makeni, UNIMAC. It been talked to Emil Django, the station manager of Radio Maria na Makeni.
Well, in the first place, Sierra Leone, they inside Africa. And Africa, na a community. In like overseas, where or Europe or America, usai, then they live individually. But in Africa, they live as a community. And as a result of that, this community business inside Africa, we don't spill over to Sierra Leone, come for affect Sierra Leone because COVID-19 not completely they accept that coming together. So universities in Africa, university in Sierra Leone, then they get a lot of constraints together with the student them and even with the environment where they defend themselves simply because of the plenty policies, plenty rules where COVID-19 gets. I can also talk say in Sierra Leone we get the Sierra Leone myth, we get the Sierra Leone story. We say everybody need for the greet each other, everybody need for the calm and commune and at the same time interact, interpersonal relationship for the, but aren't they all COVID-19 come for reducer inside with universities them? Well, plenty things in the way I need for talk about, we can for talk about how it don't affect or how it don't impact students and lecturers them, not just lecturers, at the same time administrators of universities. Why I say administrators? Because even with finance, it impacts the universities because they need for run their universities. Lecturers, students, formerly we used for get orientation. Usai students, them and lecturers together with administrators, then they sit down and discuss about what's available, what's not available. We sit down together, converge. Usai students, they get the opportunity for ask questions. What about the library? What about the Wi-Fi? What about the classes them? What about the lecturers? How then they? But that no they happen like I be they happen trade because when you come in the first place the space we don't get for sidom, the social distancing inside the hall or inside the open space. They allow everybody for come. So that don't affect universities and the cannabis population when they forget not the universities. We're very, very important. Another thing the camp for put across now that say lecturers in a role model. And students, and they look upon the lecturers and as people the way for do something sober. In other words, the wearing of face masks. Now, it is compulsory, and so man they say get asthma, and that you need breathe fine, but still you need to get for wear them for you go lecture. When not be the happy intraday. And students then now, that face-to-face contact, when they say interpersonal relationship in the campus, now universities, the facial expression and the gestures, they're enough for the student understand the concept we they can for push across. So the issue of face masks, which is now compulsory as a result of COVID-19 and the kind of a bad impact we don't create, not just in Sierra Leone, but in Africa and Europe and together with America, I think don't make people the way they express themselves now, the facial expressions, then now they help for push the ideas to the students. Not they again. So now a big challenge to universities because the Zoom they permit the warmth, they permit the face to face. Although not face to face, but there is noise in between. We will talk about noise in journalism, for example. Now that some interruption day in between. You go to lecture, perhaps the Wi-Fi just go abrupt off, or light na Africa, for example, in Sierra Leone, just go off, or even the lecture, the student they get you quick. So these are some of the things that we are feel say they affect African together with Sierra Leone universities.
That's na Joseph Ezekiel Tula, Dean of Faculty, Mass Communications and Computer Science, University of Makeni. Still na Makeni, Joseph Moore self been talk to Ibrahim Tolly, one part the students them na Unimac, where they talk about how it leg for as students during the coronavirus sick.
Being a student, particularly this point in time like Corona Day, so it's very challenging. And because like in the academic work, I think it's very slow. Like it's a way we can get a break, we particularly they can introduce them online lectures and most of we not be able to access the internet and some of we been doing the offline there, so we not get access for get information in relating to the online lectures with them be implemented on the campuses. So then they only affect you as a student. And also you think of the financial, even with people they say all man they go will say this now a problem now, the corona, everything don't slow down. So at the end of the day now, money no they flow. So this all don't affect. Even as they call me from myself, why they call them, they respond. They say because of corona now it don't bring up malice. So all that in there now, it don't affect me as a student. Even my fees right now, no even raise our fees to make I able to pay my fees. Okay,
like the university they look say this na corona term and una as students for let them just give una some kind leverage for let una get some time first before una go pay una fees then.
No, being a private university because now the fees that we be paying are then they use for pay lecturers and then they use back for buy other logistics at the university. So at the end of the day, then always they tax me for make we pay and then they now a matter of most people pay the fees because now in the university they use for one then fees and they will pay.
Okay, apart from the slow way this corona don't make the academic work don't slow, what thing again don't change since where corona start? For you, for your experience as a student, what thing don't change?
The changes we get like particularly in the academic sector more because down there in the disturb me as a student. Because being that so I see the academic sector it all becomes slow. The process now it is active, even some lecturers they can for take quick classes.
That's not Ibrahim Tolly, students at the University of Makeni. I still there at the north, but I go now na Magboroka Tong inside Tonkolili district and listen to Ibrahim G. Conte when I hear two students na the Anesbai Koroma University of Science and Technology na Magboroka campus. Ibrahim been talk to Saidu Mahmoud Ba, the station manager na Radio Bonkolenke na Yile.
Oh yes, of course. I believe say COVID-19 na is real, even though people get a lot of doubts about the sick, if it's real or not real. But as the students know, especially this part of the country, I believe COVID-19 exists because I believe with districts, I'm not going to say an epic center, but I believe we don't get a lot of cases and we don't experience, and so I strongly believe and I get the conviction that COVID-19 really real and it exists.
How this thing don't affect you, man?
Then plenty, to be honest, because as students, say this sick come at this country, we begin experience sometime back in March, you see, and we know as a student, by then we're supposed to be in our colleges then, we do activities then. But if you remember for the past 7 months, nothing like that will happen. So that's one way I affects me negatively because we're not able to go for lectures, we're not go for classes, so that affects me. Then secondly, it also comes with new things in our life we don't want to experience before, like the face masks. Even though we don't get Ebola, but we don't ever use anything like face masks, even though the hand washing, that's the part of it. But it's all a kind of things that would affect me. Because we start in students then, when I ask my students then, they find it difficult to use the face masks. They say, but when you don't say a compulsory for we use them, at all costs we use them at colleges then, even if they travel we use them. So that affects you greatly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, how about the lecturers then? How did they treat you now in relation to during this era of COVID-19? Like, you get problems with them? How they can handle on issues?
Well, I was saying a mix, and feelings, what we can get as students then, because sometimes it can be positive and other times it can be negative. At times, like we can come to campus, sometimes you can forget the face masks, come out in our college. Then all of a sudden, the lecturers sometimes give you a chance for them to take in class.
So okay, meaning if you don't get face mask, they don't allow you. They don't
allow you for take lectures. They will ask you out of college. Whatever excuse you go to for take, that's they're not going to grant you. So that.
All right. So like along the line, when I get an SUG or student union government, right?
Yes, we get the student union government, and I believe them back to try extremely well, and they come around try for sensitize students then about the preventive and precautions for take. But as they say, you man, you can escape reminds them, but the student union they can do their level best really.
That's now Ibrahim G. Conte. He are 2 students na the Ernest Bai Koroma University of Science and Technology na Magboroka campus. Still inside Tonkolili district, at the reach na mile 91, Usai Ibrahim A. Conte been talked to Abdul Ahmed Conte when at the student union president na the Freetown Teachers College na mile 91.
Well, actually, COVID-19 na a setback factor towards our academic activities, especially in a 91 Freetown Teachers College FTC. Everybody knows within the academic line, August we for engage with NCTV exams. That's very clear. Due to COVID-19, it been carried a setback, a total break off from we normal tutorials, where we even suppose for don't take back May. But due to this COVID-19, we will not be able to get normal tutorials at all. The open safe way, the attempts for open, not all areas of studies be able to attend lectures at all.
As president of the student union body, what actually you think this COVID-19 disturb on normal activities?
One of the things them way COVID-19 come with, we don't use for sit down together without face masks. Without them say you not go near your company and touch them with and you get for car with any stigma. But COVID-19 car with than the all social distance. But since we will not be able to get corrective measures or preventive measures, that's been get for make we get that total break off. We will not able to get lectures at all. We use for call formal meetings where we announce na radio. But due to that, except if I say I engage with me executive members, first I get for call 1, 2, or if not 5, a maximum number, then we just be able to sit down and discuss. We're not able even come with conclusion for all the temporal meeting that we would also is set we back from we normal government activities.
Now, with all that said back here, so I don't get on and not able to do some formal activities them again at the college. What in actually have been done they do now with regards to that for make una see una address some of them problems then they?
Well, actually, na a temporal discussions will be to do. If I cite examples, according to we national FTC constitution, You say the 1st of August, you will be done in a power as governor or president. You for try for organize elections and handover. Since we don't set that, it failed with due to COVID-19. We don't set that day now aside. So as the timetable don't come out for we say with the right to exams probably because according to the letter with the right to the center supervisor, they say tentative dates, meaning not a permanent date yet. The only thing that the hope date and that we hope for make right to exams. So the first week inside December, I hope so probably though the notice not come out, but then it may feel with the set the elections day. That's one of the things that we don't feel with.
That's na Abdul Ahmed Conte, the Student Union President na the Freetown Teachers College inside Mile 91 na Tonkolili District. From Tonkolili District na the north, I dey go na Port Loko City na the northwest region for join Alhaji Sanko where they work na Radio Banka Soka. E been talk to Baikanu, students na the Anes Baikoroma University of Science and Technology na Port Loko City.
Well, of course, this corona, it don't really give a bad effects for we the students them because like looking at the delays and the time we don't waste in too much. By then, last year, we did on the preparation for go register way for student year 1. Maybe if we don't take and say we be the only thing say this year for don't now year 2 at this time now. But now we still the same class we've been there. Where some of we not even take the second semester examination yet. So corona, this COVID-19, it don't really make we don't do down the education system. You don't go backward. And of course, today we've been able to call 4 months or 3 months lectures way per semester. But right now that one did not be. Now only 2 weeks now you go face examination. It's very difficult. You sit down in a class, lecturer they lecture you, they ask question at the end of the night you understand. Let alone when I know somebody they give you, they say go read, we come for exams. How you go able pass? And now we get what we call online lectures. Online lectures, mean say you they see the lecturer they lecture you, they just they send notes now then your website. You they download them. After we don't download, you go print them. You get that you read. That one they all read the students them. We not get them more than phone like Android phone. Now a very big problem and challenges to we. Except the one they would at the upper hand we get a little bit where they don't download, they don't print them, we learn to them, now we party them. They say, oh man, lend me. You don't do so more we say yes, well lend me, I go photocopy. That one the cost not go too much. Like for go just download them, after that you print at the same time. Now that one they know what they go up. But corona, this COVID-19, it don't really disturb greatly with the students them. The class we're supposed to take only a year. Now, it don't take almost 2 years. You don't round the year back. So corona don't really disturb with the student there.
Okay, in terms of because you also get for the cost. So what you get for say what?
Well, the cost, yes. Like I tell you, the cost is really much expensive. So the way you go to class, the lecturer they lecture you, they take notes. The assignments where they give you, you not go pay for print more than 3,000 yourself if you want for print assignments. Because the right hand paper again still appreciate. But right now, you get for think of for download them notes them, for think of for print them and think of for photocopy them. Like we not get more than phone, we not get computer, we not get photocopy machine then we host them. So you see, pass you go learner and he lost I like post is for you say he go always give you, I like if I like you. You not go photocopy for you again. In the print no more, you go learner, he go learn you. But for photocopy, now you do them for yourself. And each paper right na 300 yuan. Some paper there, some modules there, they go there, but they 100 papers there. 100 pages. So 3,000 yuan times 100 there. Now beaucoup money. But the extra data one they know they happen. So it's very expensive and costly right now with the students there.
So how don't they cope with our students them?
Well, except we party them within a class. The one there we get the upper hand, like where they send notes on the website, they would download at the same time and go photocopy. And now they would meet, they mingle with them.
That's na by Kanu, students na the Anes Baikoroma University of Science and Technology na Port Loko City. Let's take this short music break.
This is so serious, yes.
coronavirus. Salone people like we take and serious. Attend this, stay conscious. So you left a good to your other man, but this not the time you for find the other man. I know you left a good to your other man, but this not the time you for find the other man.
So now with a take time with the people who get fever, people with a cough and with a shiva. Cause this not the time we for stay cautious. Cause Wakuma no know, but funny knows that symptoms with fever. So come relatives, now we one of them. Make them pick you wash and we stop it, what's no follow them. Ebola be don't go make corona no more of them. So Salone people let we learn and take precautions them.
You got to conscious think about coronavirus. Take precaution, left for cut under your eyes. This now sickness we go kill it quick. If you not take them do the right thing, you go end up easy. Salone people them muna let we wake up. This is all the message from the well-body people them. Protect your life, protect your life. Take it to the message we go save your life, yo. Let me hear it what attention. Let me take precaution. Let me hear it what, hear it what. This is the coronavirus. Let me hear it what precaution. Let me take precaution. Let me hear it what, hear it what.
Let's first say if I be no plenty sick way come thinking out for go. You the cough fever, you can breathe, oh no. No say coronavirus. No matter who you are, plenty don't die. You know they pick who die one. We all can testify. Save your life from this virus. Save your life from this virus.
So you get to be aware. Don't forget to use your hand sanitizer. Oh, you soap and water. Corona not a joke, no.
Fambulem, me na Dr. Alpha Tijan Wuri, me na the Minister of Health and Sanitation. We see big trouble they happen at the rest of the world, but we're not afraid. We're not afraid because we don't get an exposure before. We don't learn and know waiting for them. I have strong belief in the resilience of the people of Sierra Leone. We say they ask of we, and for make we they wash our hands all the time. Because now your hand they bring dirty na your eye, your nose, your mouth, all them open then na your face. And then how we the virus they pass through your body.
My family, my name is Bishop J. Archibald Cole, one of the religious leaders in this country. When I don't hear how this coronavirus it move from people their life, I appeal to her. When I listen to government and all the well-body people, then when they talk to we, they could follow all the advice and the rules and the regulation, so it will be better for we all. God bless we all.
Welcome back to the second segment of our program, Tap Corona Na Salone. Members say, na Radio Mount Aureol-CTN na Trabe College na Freetown join hand with 14 partner radio stations, including the radio station where they listen to so for bringing this program to you. Inside this edition, we will continue for look inside the same issue of how the COVID-19 sick don hamburg education, and with a focus on higher or tertiary education. Mina una young presenter, Mariam Masahid. Make we listen to this important message.
If you want to sneeze, now for cover your nose.
Marie, who say you come out to?
I come out hospital, my brother. I go do me COVID-19 surge test.
Surge waiting? What is that mean?
The COVID-19 surge test, na operation wey NACOVAC conduct for expanding COVID-19 test in a community area then. And then they encourage people from all about the country for go volunteer for make the well-body people with NACOVAC test them for the COVID-19. Because then see say, people they get the virus and live with them na them community and no know at all.
Me no they go there. I not get money test and make them not go tell me say I don't get the sick.
Okay, me brother, wait make I tell you small. The COVID-19 test na free, and the well-body people then no go tell you say you get the sick if you not get them.
Okay. Well, to my family they go do the COVID-19 test one thing.
This na message where they come out from Radio Mount Aureol-CTN at Trabe College Campus, Freetown.
Travel America, he don't travel na Europe.
for continue for know how the coronavirus sick don ambog higher and tertiary education. I dey go na Kailaun, a border district with Liberia na the eastern region, and listen to Aureol-CTN Sheriff, the principal na the Government Technical Institute, Kailaun district. Mr. Sheriff been explain to Alexandra Jamiru say the coronavirus sick don ambog buklanin bad one na Kailaun.
Of course, if I could tell you what are the negative impacts where this COVID-19 cause on we as an institution, it'll be really great. Of course, one of the ways the way it affects we academic calendar. At least we be sit down for over 5 to 6 months. If I not forget, we at least not functioning, no academic functioning, no be there as a result of this COVID-19. Equally, even make with students then go at large, because most of the students they will be sitting now, they attend at least on the move away from Kaila hometown outside the college day, then go down the villages then, so they go Freetown, so they go other side then. At least we that inter-district lockdown be there, so it make the neighbor return back. So it make even that self be a very big constraint for let the student return back. Won't be resumed now lately. So if we could ask about the negative impact of COVID-19 on we as an institute, that's some of the things that also the COVID-19.
Before maybe you go further, what did this mean to Una?
Wow, this it mean a lot. It mean a lot because it costs financially. Because even the COVID-19 sensitization materials that will be provide, then a huge song on we as a Ministry of Technical Higher Education that we make COVID-19 sensitization material and they send all over the GTIs and the country. So it costs we financially, at least it costs we time because we be the commoner we go free time, they go train we as how we be able reopen college in accordance with how we maintain the COVID-19 guidelines then. In terms of student attendance, in terms of city accommodation, at least in terms of class attendance, because we say we for maintain the social distances as we open. So that because we get for review with timetable, at least we get for review with attendance. Even with lecturers, at least they also a very big constraint on them. Because if the number of periods that they attend to students they increase as a result of this COVID-19, because we be observe all the guidelines there, and then are some of the guidelines there what will be the observe, where the ministry be given, and what will say be they adhere to. So if you can ask about the negative impact, it be so much on we. However, at least when we be done open now, we get a cost for if we can disinfect all we toilet then, we classrooms then, at least for brush, because the moment will be left here, so at least the place become bushy, so it will be a cost on we for make sure say they clear the bush, at least then clean the disinfect classrooms then. So all this na be negative impact on we. Up to now, as I talk, most of the students they don't carry it. They give a course, pass to go on radio, when they make radio talk shows then, at least so that the one that they will say network coverage, they reach, then say they register with the open college will come. So at least now, a reasonable number of students in the deeper camp.
That's na Aureol-CTN Sheriff, the principal na the Government Technical Institute, Kailaun district. Still inside Kailaun, Momo Obama say, where they work na SLBC, Kailaun, self been talk to Lahai Yankuba, when a lecturer and exams officer na the Freetown Teachers College na Kailaun district.
Big impact where this COVID don't create na the enrollment. Before this time, we don't get a large number of enrollment where they come now institution, but because of the COVID, we they see slow pace of the enrollment where they come now as the application form they out now for the new intake thing. So that don't happen, and a serious challenge on the part of the enrollment for we. The second impact we don't create for we, before this time, before the closure of schools or the colleges, we they run computer centers and assistance, then computer centers we don't close at all because of the impact, the closure of colleges specifically to we. So that's again a very big impact on we, because we will run then systems for the use as photocopying, students and they pay small money from photocopying, but then they again not they exist again because of this COVID. The second biggest impact on we education, especially the college now the college fee. Before this time, students they really pay then tuition fee when the college fee, but because of the COVID, they no be they get side for good reg, but now it's a serious challenge for we because they no be get side for good reg, so they know they get the money for can't pay the college fee. So that again a very serious challenge. We be the follow up recently waiting be happen for a big college. We small riot be occurred, but we be able manage. We will just conclude with exam. We will manage the situation. Testing not be able to happen to we, but overall, now a serious challenge with the coming of this COVID-19.
What about in the area of government assistance where it can come for the college?
Last month, we principal when Dr. Samba Moriba been there, been categorically talk say the government we don't pay last subvention, but them money then na dig hole cover hole. They don't they take them money then for spend na other development issues na the college on the part of the college for pay to lecturers for print modules even when administrator they come off it for camp, then they use then the DSA and allowances all that money enough for solve that problem. So it's a serious challenge. The government no able pay the other quarter subvention where them blangi. So it's a serious challenge on the part of the institution.
That's Nalahai Yankuba, lecturer and exams officer na the Freetown Teachers College na Kailaun District. At the left Kailaun District now and go na Bont District inside Southern region for listening to Pastor Isaiah A. Kuruma, students na the Freetown Teachers College Matgujong branch. In self-talk to Jonathan Umaru, the station manager na Jange Radio.
Really great. One of the impacts where COVID-19 don't cause in the area of education. Number one, it don't make even the education sectors don't become strained because things then the way we expect for make by now we for done they even we for done they try for go second year, but like because of this COVID don't make we not able for even sit before at time. We don't sit beyond time, and even the seats where we don't sit, it don't cause a lot of things we even modus them for make we able get them. We're not able to get them because when you talk for printing and other things, they say COVID and not to gathering, they not for gather one place, then thing and this. So like it don't cause a lot of negative impact towards the education. Two again, even in the area of where you talk about school fees, money not the flow. The economy don't just look stiff, and even when we they go to college for make you able even get way for pay that you tuition fee where you for pay na the college, it's not really easy. It's not really easy because system don't block. Where you go, the person self with the help you, they say, "Bo, I get 1 or 2 projects where before don't work towards for make I able help you and support you for make you able go through. I'm not able for help you because of the COVID are not able to do me project." So you see, say even when we be the seat, then they get we out of class because money no they. Then later on, then self you don't insist say because of COVID they allow we for seats. So like it gets a lot of negative impact we don't cause by the education system.
So approach one of the users, students, then forces like on overcome most of the challenges then they will not highlight so.
Well, number one, I always say in any development there must be challenges, and if you're not able for fight the challenges, that's you're not really ready for fight towards your destiny. Because any journey where you take, you get series of stumbling blocks. Like we this year now, we own challenges this COVID-19 come with. But how we the fight them? Number one, we the persevere. We don't really say no way, no they pass. We persevere. And even in the area of where I tell you about the modules, the only thing where we do, we read extra books them we pertaining to we course areas. We do research. And through the research, God help we even the question them we can some of we the research them what we do it just turn like we be get a lecturer we be the lecture we throughout we able go through. Number two again for overcome the challenges we get for just bear in mind say this na national crisis of course global crisis. So like if that be the case, you not go tin up and say because of this crisis, I no need for do what I supposed for do. With all the crises, if we want for overcome with challenges, we need for focus and we need for really prepare ourselves for say we don't go ahead with voting now we on plans them.
That's na Pastor Isaiah A. Koguma, when a student na the Freetown Teachers College na Matgujong branch na Bont District. For end this edition, make a can of Freetown as me workmates na Radio Aureol-CTN, Amidu Koroma been talked to Ibrahim Sori Sise, when a senior lecturer and head of the social works department na the Emibex College of Management and Finance na Soldier Street inside Freetown.
Like we and I will be almost done the wrap up lectures and will be trying for head to exams now until when this COVID-19 thing suddenly intervene. And during the moments of course it was a pandemic, not only here, so it really caused alarm across the world. We will make schools, colleges and other educational institutions being get for shut down. So we na Emibex College be really get for called off all classes, we get for put on hold all classes until further notice, and a bid to adhere to the government in call.
Because of the outbreak of COVID-19, BCC this can be really necessary for many close colleges and institutions in?
Yes, I would say now a very good step, yes, taken by the ministry alongside with the government. Sure, it was really in place because this COVID-19 was really a deadly, dangerous disease, right? We really be one wreck the lives of let me say almost half of the world population. Not like Ebola where they see the signs and symptoms and be quite evident where they see. This one is quite would say to that effect. Where they see, they notice quickly to that effect. So like the only way now for avoid, for make we cut down the transmission process, now for make we try for routine, for make everybody stay na in your corner, everybody then in your place, make we avoid public gathering. So here at tertiary institutions, academic institutions are not exception to this rule, because we in tertiary institutions, of course, you just get forget to lectures them one-on-one. We be see the student and the sit down so, and then the lecturers will interact one-on-one.
Because according to the well body, people a person will get the virus, able to identify the person. So it is possible say during the class or lecture, person can get the virus, he interacts with people in get for share the COVID-19.
Sure, it's explicitly clear in that regard, right? Because this one it make a dangerous more than most of the other diseases, right? Because they easily detect person we get them. Yes, you go near a person we get them, they easily detect that, and the transmission rate is very fast. No sooner you come in contact, just that breeze, because yes, and the other thing them definitely you don't catch them. So therefore, it's indeed a very good step for make everybody stay in your corner during that moment, for make we able to cut down the transmission.
That's na Ibrahim Solisise, senior lecturer and head of the social works department na Emibex College of Management and Finance na Freetown. Same way so, me other workmates na Radio Mount Aureol-CTN, Amza Toure been talk to Usman and Sumana Bangura, students na the Mass Communications Department na Frabe College, University of Sierra Leone.
Well, for me it affects me a lot. If I can recall well, the 31st March, where I be the last paper for second semester, where I will be study like 9 minutes per week, so I don't declare, so don't get one case. During that day, my attention just diverse, because like at the study, I not get like feeling like say a secure again, because according to me understanding, COVID-19 is spread faster. So like the entire day, I just get the information, I just feel say, maybe this person then declare say it don't be the first case, I don't interact with some of my colleagues here. So like me might not be too steady. And also after that happened, we then declare the first case, college is all be closed that same day. But unfortunately for me, I bigger advantage. That time I be my own last paper was it. So I get a small advantages. Some other people send their own paper and they extend and for until further notice. So we go for a recess. In more than 3 months, whether they affect me a lot, at least during that 3-month process day, if COVID-19 or forbid, like I for almost done with second semester now, thinking about year 3. So it don't affect me a lot, because like right now, my time being at college, it don't delay. I suppose for dinner year 3, now I still lay year 2 days, start second semester.
Okay, so like you said, during that 3 months, now for don't do a lot. The schoolwork they go with a calendar. and I think say because of that they need for improvise. So how the college administration improvise for make una go on with the second semester?
Well, we start up a online teaching, but it not be too effective, to be serious. Because at times we start the class before the member either get poor internet connection or maybe shut down or other thing else. So it not be too effective. Like right now we resume, we get something like 1 month for cover a whole syllabus. So very, very difficult for we will they do something like 8 or 7 modules. So like right now it don't affect you a lot because during the process and they will be relaxed now, we take cancel recess. Whether they try for do online teaching, some of you know they get the time. Because we live with fear and then how for protect yourself from COVID, we parents them, we small, we younger ones them, and everything. So you make the attention for how they read. It's very, very difficult.
Okay, so now una don't resume college. Now you they come on campus, which means you get for interact with other people. But of course, the same way COVID-19 they pose a great threat now when you they among people when you they in public, and right now you get for interact with other people. How you they interact with people knowing that COVID-19 they around?
Well, that system like before will not be get COVID. They don't change. Like before, I cable org, play with somebody, but now that's not possible again.
That's na Usman Ansumana Bangura, student na the Mass Communications Department na Frabe College, University of Sierra Leone. Naya I go tap this edition of the program, Tap Corona Na Salone. Member say, na Radio Mount Aureol-CTN na Frabe College na Freetown join hand with 14 partner radio stations them, including the radio station where they listen to so for bringing this program to you. Until we meet again for our next edition, let us not forget say coronavirus sick don ambong education business na the country pass mark. Thank you to my production team. We assistant producer Mary Jene Alpha, with producer Emmanuel Nyake Momo, we senior producer Musa Bai Sise, and we executive producer Wena James Tambalebi. Mina Unayong presenter Maria Masahi they say goodbye.
I got this message for you. Corona, now they picking all they watch first. Let me tell you the truth.
Mama, social distancing, all the kids.